But hello! How is everyone today? Oh my god. You don't know the toil that I went through to get this cage set up. Have you ever tried to make it look organized and neat when the animal themselves is trying to wreck your progress? Not great. It's not great. Anyway, welcome to Pizza's Real Talk, the Everything Rattos stream. Hello, husband. Speaking of that, the vet is telling me that Mr. Squeaks needs an exam. How nice. All right. So yes, today is everything about Rattos. You requested it. So we're going to get down and we're going to talk about basically Rattos. Which is kind of awesome because everybody has... Wow, this music is like blaring in my phone. Can't hear myself think. Wait, do I actually think? That's a question for another podcast, another talk show. But anyway, everybody who is into pets. Hey, Not, how are you? Welcome on in. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Like I was saying, most people all over the world have a furry / feathery / scaly companion. Aqua companions too, counting. Well, I guess they would be scaly. But anyway, everybody has that companion that when they don't have human contact, they can go to their furry critter for comfort and fun and just to basically vent. Have you just ever sat and vented to your pet just randomly, like, man, it was a shit day, everybody was shitty at work, and they just look at you like, okay, where's my treats? Yeah, but they honestly care, and you really cannot see them in there, can you? They're totally ignoring me today. Hey, I see you in there. Rat in here. There's a rat in this bin. He's way back in the tea box. He's back there. I'll leave this open. He'll creep out slowly, thinking that he's going to make an escape, but that's not true. He will not make an escape. But anyway, thank you guys for coming. Because most people, when you think of rats, you think of a creepy creature in movies like Willard and games like Age of Innocence, that they're horrible infestation. Well, technically they are vermin. But these Rattos, the Rattos that I have in here, are not vermin. They are cute and cuddly, and they are the most inquisitive, fun creatures. They mostly get a bad rap, but basically, from all throughout history, being associated with plague and disease and just generally being unpleasant things, slimy, hanging out in sewers and dark, damp caves, and then they bite you and you get rabies. But no, that's not necessarily the... Yes, the Rattos, yes, they're here, I swear. They are in here. Hey! You're absolutely ignoring me today. There's one. There he is. There you are. Hi. Here. Yep, that's 2 socks. Comes running immediately when he hears food. So yeah. Alright, so we're gonna talk a little bit about rats today. If you are interested in rats at all, as a pet, imagine having a shy rat on a Ratto day. Yeah, well, they're not shy. He's just they're antisocial in the daytime, which I'm going to get to. Yeah, they're pretty antisocial. Hello, Mr. Squeaks. Hello, Mr. Squeaks. What are you doing? He says, what are you doing, Mom? Why is my cage in this room? Yeah, basically they're nocturnal creatures. So they do their most of their activity at dusk and stop just before dawn. So they just totally wig out all night, like chewing and roughhousing and yeah. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So I just want to reiterate here that I am not an expert. I am not a vet. My knowledge of pet care has come from experience of trial and error with these furry little brats up here. Yes, I see you. Don't reach out of the cage. But look, Two Socks is saying hello. But talk with the pizza Chad. Hey kid, thank you for 128 biddies. Thank you. Oh, that was disgusting. What was that? Where is that? But yeah, thank you so much. What did I say? Oh, I'm not an expert and I don't play one on TV. So, basically the knowledge I have acquired is by trial and error and watching YouTube videos and checking the internet and doing my own research. So just keep that in mind. If you're interested in getting getting a Ratto for yourself. They're very cute. Yes, look at all of these points. Yes. They're very, very cute. If you're interested in getting a rat yourself, make sure you also do your own research and understand all of the facts about them. I mean, before you dive on in, because Rattos are a little bit more complex than your basic hamster. They need a little bit more care. They get bored easy. They can actually get depressed. So it's always good to know your thing. Cute bit salute! So it's basically good to know your information before you start. Yes, they love to hurt their feet and their tails. These two, and the two before them. So that's another thing to have. I mean, especially if in your cage. See, I have on this side of the cage where you can't see this guy. I don't know if you can see it, but there are pumice perch ledges so they can get up onto things. It's not good to have ramps because sometimes their feet cannot grip them unless they have like fleece over top of it. I'll call you an expert. Paid professional, well though. Yes, no, not paid professional either. I am just winging my way through this real talk. And I'm very happy that you guys showed up to come see the Rattos. It is important that people understand that Rattos are a very loyal, very smart, very cunning pet. You know what I'm saying? They're sweet and awesome as pets, and more people should see it that way. More people should see it that way. I know the tails freak people out. I get it. But still, you shouldn't discriminate against this type of pet. You know, just because they have a freaky tail. So the things you should know before getting a rat. Either buying a rat or adopting a rescue rat. That's an entirely different story. Adopting a rescue rat, the one that somebody's already has started getting them in their routine and their mindset, and then you're taking over for that person, which is a whole different ball of wax. But the things that a rat owner needs to know or should research is their lifespan. A lifespan of a rat is relatively shorter than most small animal creatures. They live about 25 months or so that's a little over 2 years. I'm not saying that is the cap, that is the general average. Because some rats can live up to 5 years old. They definitely show their age through their fur and their whiskers, and they get a little bit of arthritis and things like that. But they can live longer than that. But the max is usually 2 years. They will show obvious signs of aging. Number 2, they are, as I said before, they are nocturnal. So be prepared for that if you were going to purchase said Ratto creature. Because you would want to put them in a place away from where you're going to sleep. I made the big mistake when I was in college, excuse me, dying. Excuse me. Needed a Coke. All right, I'm good. I made the mistake in college of putting a rat cage in my bedroom. And what do you hear? Crunch, 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 crunch. Hydrate! Yes, I just hydrated. Thank you very much. And I heard the crunching and gnawing and digging all night. So if you're a light sleeper, make sure you have the Ratto in a different place in the house. But they will be up those times of day and night. They sleep mostly during the day, and they are lazy, and they don't want to be bothered during the day. If you bother them, they give you the stank eye and like, Mom, what you want? But oh my God, there you are. What are you doing? Hey, they really. Oh my God. Did you get it? Did you get it? Don't fall. There you go. All right. But yeah, make sure you do that. Also, sex should be the rat should be housed in the same sex groupings, unless you want to have lots of babies. Rats can have up to 12 to 13 in their litter, so also keep that in mind. So if you're going to keep them together, keep all females and keep all males together. Trust me, it's safer this way. My first one was a male. Male and females, it really doesn't matter which one you pick. It just males tend to be a little bit lazier than You staring at me, sir? He's staring at me right now. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, he's staring at me right now. Goes, Mom, I want more treats. Look at him. Yeah, he's totally wondering what the hell I'm doing right now. Right, yeah, exactly, Cupid. That is a true fact. They can get pregnant right after birth. So their job is to populate. That's what they do. They because since their lifespan is so short, their brain, their primal instinct is to breed and perpetuate the ratty cycle. So yes, be very, very, very attentive to that. Rats also need daily exercise outside of their cage. So this big monstrosity cage, this is just the top half. This has two sections. This is actually a ferret / chinchilla cage that we've adapted to a rat cage. Just so they have extra space. This is a little bit extra for two rats, but we wanted them to have lots of space to play and grow and dig and do whatever it is that they do. So we wanted to have the extra space, but make sure that they have at least an hour to 2 hour exercise outside of their cage a day. Hubby and I will set up one of those weird puppy pens. We'll set that up with some treats, some boxes, some balls. They'll jump in and beat on each other, and then they'll get tired. And when they're done, they will hop up and down at the side of the barrier saying, Mom, 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 I want back in the house. So that's what they do. That's particularly their thing. But they do need their exercise outside their cage. And they get bored pretty easy, so they'll need lots of enrichment and all that bonding time with their brother or sister or housemates. Because, yeah, these two are brothers, and their play fighting is very funny. Have you ever seen a rat walk sideways and do karate kicks? Two Socks does it constantly. He's always running sideways and kicking Mr. Squeaks in the side. I don't know why he thinks he's Bruce Lee, but let me tell you, that is a thing to behold. That's a thing to behold. It's really, really funny. One day I will actually get it on Karate Ratto. Yes, exactly. I will actually get it on a video so you guys can see it, but yeah. All right, and the last one, which is one of the most important things. Well, actually, there's two more. The rat care. Rat care in general is very important to rats. If you get them, you need to take them to the vet. They're all eventually going to need to go. Either because they catch a cold, they get mites or lice, or they hurt their freaking feet. Eventually, you're going to have to take them to the vet, and it's always good to have like a first aid kit close by just in case. If they caught their little paws or if they are in pain or whatever, you need to have these things on hand because they are going to get hurt. And just keep in mind, rats are expensive. They are more expensive than a dog or a cat when you take them to the vet. And they're also very hard to find exotic vets, so you have to go and search and do your research and look into the vet to see how their availability and what their knowledge is based on what kind of animal you have, whether it be a rat or a bird or a lizard. Those are all considered exotic, and that's 10 times the cost. So make sure you have a reserve, a cash pile for when they freaking hurt themselves, because when I first the rat set before this rat set, Squidgy and Rascal. Squidgy has gotten his tail caught in the cage, in between the bars in the class. Not this cage, but it was a different cage. What in the monk? Hey, monkey, you changed your name. Hey, how are you today? Welcome on in. Oh, guys, I also changed the sub badges. And Lexi, I don't know if you saw it or not. Lexi, there is now a bonk just for you. We have a bonk. So, but yeah, what was I saying? But yes, he got his tail caught in between the bars, and he actually pulled the skin off of his tail. Clear to the bone. You could see his little spiny tail sticking out. It was a good section too. It was like half his tail. So we had to take him to the vet to get half of it amputated. That was $900. So remember to keep a cash pile if you're going to have pet rats. That goes for having any pet. Like if you're like, I'm gonna get this, and you don't think ahead, like for the care and the cage and everything like that, but you definitely will need extra moolah for rats. And the most important thing of having rats is you need a pair or more. Mally, you're here! Yay! Yes, 2 or more rats are to be housed in a cage. I mean, there are some exceptions to getting a solo rat. Basically, if it's a rescue rat and he's aggressive toward other rats, or he has some kind of health issue or whatever, naturally that would be an exception to the rule. But you need to have a pair of rats, or a pair and more rats, because they are very social, and if you keep them by themselves, I found out this the hard way, they get depressed. Can you imagine that? Rats get depressed. Everybody's fucking getting depressed now. So, poor kids are in their cage by themselves. I mean, they need to have some social interaction while you are at work and unable to play with them. So it's always good to have a pair. They can do social bonding. They can clean with each other. They can wrestle. They can sleep together. It's a group community thing, so you have to have 2. Whether it be 2 females or 2 males, you need to have multiple rats. This is one of the things I was failing to do when I first started with rats. I kept 1, and that's all I would have. And then I got Squidgy and Rascal, and unfortunately, Squidgy tried to hump Rascal's head, and Squidgy wasn't having it, or Rascal wasn't having it, so he bit him in the face, and his eye was bleeding, and it was disgusting. But always get 2 rats, which is most important. I really want a hairless rat, so I can call him Master Chung, because they look like little kung fu masters, going that kind of thing. So eventually I will have a hairless rat and one with a little Siamese rat with a little dust on its nose and its little ears. So cute. And I am so upset with them today. Hey! Rattos! Oh my god, they are totally ignoring my ass right now. I am so sorry. They are being they're camera shy. No, they're not camera shy. That's just sleepy time. Ugh. Alright. We got this weird treat. But, that treat is basically a log, part of a stick or something that has, like, fruit bits in it. They love it. They love it. Okay. Alright, so, oh no, you guys saw my notes! I have a really big, thick pack of notes. I did this kind of like a high school essay. So you guys gotta give me lots of feedback on this Real Talk, because if we like it, we can do more like this. I've never actually done like a podcast like talk show by myself. I've usually have someone to help, and this is very, very tense for me. So if I stutter or get nervous, I apologize. I want to be honest with you. Honest with you. What are they doing? They're hiding again. They're just not today. The cage cam is useless today. It's like a normal stream. Instead of playing games, we're chatting about Rattos. Work, but I'm glad you're okay. Yes. We're talking about the Rattos. Alright. Also, for the essential items that you will need to be... What is their favorite food? Are we talking about rat food, or are we talking about human snacks? You have to be very specific. They have both. This is right now. This is what they eat on a daily basis. This is oxbow. They're just weird little triangles. It has all of their vegetables and grains and proteins and everything in there. Because the proteins and the grains and things, the amount that they need changes from their childhood to adult. So this is well balanced for adults, and they eat that pretty regularly. There we go, I said it, regularly. So that's their daily food. But their favorite food of all time, it'd have to be a toss-up between corn on the cob and peas. I don't know why rats have a thing for peas. And
from the outside.
Melly! Oh my god! Thank you so much for the 5 subs! Holy shit! Alright, just coming in with the bam. Let's see, Mally, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Mr. Hellspawn, the Nana Banana, the Wild Tabby, LS, and Flying Bolts. Thank you so much. Guys, please enjoy your gift subs, the ad-free viewing, the emotes, and the, excuse me, loud content. Because we got that. Also, Lexi, my husband has been trying this. This is what I was using for my other rats that I had.
From the outside.
Previous rats. It's called the Reggie Rat Mix. It's all right, but it has a lot of rolled oats and corn in it, and dried corn is not necessarily good for rats. So we just give this as a treat now instead of, but we do have a base diet for them of the pellets. We give them fresh fruits and veggies. We actually go to the store, the supermarket, and buy those steamed bags of vegetables, like the ones with the carrots and the peas and the things like that in them. They're not so big on fruit. I mean, occasionally they'll eat hey, look, there's a fat rat. There's my fat ratto. There's my boy. What are you doing? What are you doing there? I poke your butt. I poke your butt. He's like, get off, Mom. Yeah. But, yeah, we give them this thing, sneaking towards the door. They won't come out. They won't come out. Mr. Squeaks will hang out the door if you've got treats, but they won't come out of there. They like their house way too much. Oh, yeah, they're munching down on that treat right now. I don't know, the bits in there. Mom, I'm not in front of people. Yeah, please don't. Please don't, not in front of people. But, yeah, that's basically their favorite food. Occasionally, we give them things Like for Thanksgiving, we give them the little plate of like mashed potatoes and bread and some veggies and some turkey, things like that. But the turkey has to be like from the inner side, like the white meat and stuff like that, so it doesn't have any of the flavorings or things, so they don't get sick. But yeah, they generally, rats' diets are more defined by what they can't eat versus what that they can, because rats can eat a lot of things. They actually can eat chocolate. That was the thing that animals can't eat chocolate, but rats can eat chocolate. They can eat the pure cocoa stuff, so you can offer that to them. They eat meat. Take over your work. I know I don't work today. Why would I take over your work? I don't want to work. I want to sit here and play with my boys. You see the little head back there? He's nom 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 nom. He's fat. My rats are actually overweight, and that's my fault because I feed them lots of treats. I want them to be happy. Considering their lives are so short, I really want them to be happy. Alright, the essential items needed to be a rat care owner. You'll need a good cage. I'm not talking those well-promoted plastic tube cages or glass aquariums. They aren't good for rats. I'll get into that later. But you want a good cage like the one I have behind me. Make sure the bar spacing is good. A good space. You don't want it too big because they can get out. You don't want it too small because they can get shit caught in it. Trust me, if they can, they will. You're gonna need some kind of bedding for the bottom. Each rat owner will be different about what they like to use for their bedding. Some like some kind of like recycled paper or newsprint. We're gonna try this Carefresh bedding, which is basically they took all of the color out of the newspaper, and it's fluffy, and they can pee on it, and it it absorbs the odors and everything. But that's probably the safest. A lot of people also use fleece or some kind of like corn litter. You can use that too. You don't want to use cat litter because that's absolutely bad. But make sure you do that. It's some kind of nesting materials. We use paper towels. Paper towels, and they will find some way to shove it in their house and shut it up. I was gonna ask, actually, can rats be like, yes, they can. Ours are basically litter trained, but they're stupid. And this plastic bin right here behind me, you see this bin here? That's actually their litter tray. They sleep and bury their food in it and poop in it, but it's a specific corner that they use to poop in it. There are different ways to litter train your rat. You can use pee rocks. For some reason, rats love to pee on rocks. Flat, smooth rocks. And you get that, or flat glass marbles, and you stick that in a litter pan, and they could go to town on it. It's disgusting. No, it is a valid way to protect their food. It desensitizes predators from finding their food, because all they smell is poo. So it hides the smell of their food from future predators. So that's why they like to hide it in their toilet, or they will poop in their food bowl to hide that. It's disgusting. But yeah, that's one of the weird quirks rats have. But yeah, there's two of these bins. There's one up here and there's one in the bottom. So how the cage is arranged right now, they do play and eating at the top. I'm sorry, sleeping and eating at the top, and then they play and poop on the bottom. Weird. Rats are weird. But they have very, very specific routines. And what are you guys doing? Hi, you're new. Hi, Dead Pulio. Welcome to the stream. Dead Pulio! How are you, Dead Pulio? How is you doing? I thought you was streaming. Weren't you streaming? Am I seeing shit? Please tell me. Am I seeing shit? Hey, don't you eat all the fruit out of there. Hey! See this? This is what they're eating right now. This is basically a log with apple bits and raisins and things in it. They're not really big on fresh fruit, but they like this shit. Want this back? Move your head. Move your head. There you go. Thank you.
There's my boy. There's my boy. Hi. What are you doing?
Is that tasty? Nom 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 nom. This is why he's fat. Because he doesn't stop eating. Hi, Jack. What's going on? Your nephews are like you. They like crunchy nom noms. Oh, yeah. They love crunchy things. Don't tell anybody, but we give them pizza crust. I know it's bad. We try not to give them anything with sauce on it. But we give the edge of the crust because I really like the pizza crust. And this is the only time, well, it's not the only time, but they will run and hide with it. They love it so much. Hey, humans, make toilet tank moonshine. It's true. Very true. The edge is basically just bread. Yes, basically it's just bread. And they do enjoy it a lot. They do enjoy it. So. But okay, where were we? Bedding, basic cage furniture, which is huts, as you see up there. These are hanging hammocks. You can get these on Amazon. Sometimes you can find nice ones in the store. But this is Mr. Squeak's favorite thing. We washed it today, but if I would have put it up, you wouldn't be able to see them. So this is basically just a big fleecy hole. They can sleep on top of it, or they can sleep inside of it. Very good, very good. To them, to that. And they need like tubes, baskets, and things like that. When we had Mr. Squidgy and Rascal, they had a lot of baskets that they liked. We went to the dollar store, bought the cheapy baskets, make sure we shaved down and smoothed out any rough edges so they didn't cut their feet. So they would sleep in those. Their favorite thing ever. Water bottles, 2 medium-sized or bigger water bottles. The smaller ones, they'll just go through really quick. These guys, they get fresh water in the morning and fresh water in the evening. They prefer cold water to warm water, and they prefer the bottom water bottle to the top. They all will always have their preference of whichever. I don't know why that's a thing. It's a thing. The rats are as picky as humans, so let me tell you that. They're very picky. Food bowls, we have I don't know if you can see it. There's an orange glass dish we have in there. But you can use a variety of different type of feeders. Some of them you can use drop feeders for them, and that will be acceptable. Always make sure you clean it out real good. But make sure that they have fresh food at least twice a day. Their bowl needs to be full of kibble. Don't fill it like my husband does and thinks they need to hoard all their food because there's going to be a ratty apocalypse. But so they also need to have other treats, like I was talking about earlier. They can have fresh vegetables and things like that. They like cooked noodles. They like uncooked noodles. They like hard-boiled eggs. Like you can give them chicken and pork and turkey. You can even give them a little bit of beef. Try not to give them any type of like sausage or anything like that with a whole lot of spices. It's not good for their bellies. Cold water is superior. Yes. I do agree. Cold water is much better. Much tastier. Cleaning supplies. You can use any type of rat cleaner you can find at the store. I personally use Dawn dish soap, and my sister uses Dawn dish soap and vinegar to clean her cages. So her guinea pigs always smell like a salad. But you can use anything like that. I use the dish soap because it's safer and it gets rid of the muck and beef, pork. Rats are on top of the food chain. Egg is the best food. Eggs are good food, yes. My ratties aren't very big on the yolks. They like the white better than the yolk. But they will snack on an egg here and there. But you want an omelet? Make me one too, especially if there's cheese. Rattos! Oh! You should see his cute little face right now. He's right here. Make that three omelets to go, please. We're talking about eggs. Your first aid kit, excuse me. You will definitely need a ratty first aid kit, gauze, saline rinse of some type. Q-tips, tweezers, nail clippers, septic powder. Septic powder is good if they have a cut, you can make it stop bleeding. Good for when you're trying to clip their nails. Some people do clip their nails, and God forbid you ever have to clip their teeth because they will get overgrown, which is why you need all of the chew sticks and gnawing materials because their teeth are constantly growing. Also, spare hospital cages and traveling carriers. Clip teeth, yes. Rats' teeth are continuously growing. They're incisors in the front, so if they get too long, if they don't have enough toys to chew them down, they can grow down over their mouths and have trouble eating, or they could split and cause teeth defects and infections and things. So sometimes you have to clip them if you don't have things to. Yeah. So you have to make sure they have file down of some sort, but either by chewing or take them to the vet. But yes, you need the travel cages for when you have to take them to said vet, or if you want to take them on a vacation with you. So always keep that in mind. Okay. So the cage requirements for a basic Ratto is, like I said, ours is obscenely extravagant. We have the mansion a rat behind me. We wanted to make sure that they had plenty of room because some of the other cages were just basic guinea pig cages, and we had a feeling that they were getting bored in there. So we got the super deluxe cage over here behind us. In reality, ideally, it should be at least 2.5 cubic feet per rat. So at least 20 inches in height. Plenty unbroken floor space, which means you can have the grate on the bottom or plastic bins. They have plastic trays in most of them, or if the bottom's completely plastic, that would probably be the best. But ours have these plastic trays in the bottom, so we can just pop them out and clean them. But anything with a rat palace, yes indeed. Anything with a grated floor, you're gonna have to cover it with something, with some kind of fleece or cardboard or plexiglass, because their feet can get stuck. And believe me, they like to hurt their feet. A lot. So make sure you have that in there. So you need to have, like I said, plenty of height and places to shove shit, because rats will try to shove themselves into the smallest space possible. Like, of all the boxes in the world, I can give them a super big box, but they want this. They want this box because it's small and they want to sleep in it. So this box can be used sideways so they can crawl in it, or you can hang it they'll crawl in it like that. But our rats are super duper fat, and both of them should not fit in here, but they're gonna try anyway because they want to be with each other, even though they annoy each other. But smaller spaces makes them feel safe. So cages to avoid would be, like I said, the highly advertised mouse and rat cages, because they're generally too small and the tubes make them cramped, and they usually have poor ventilations. Rats have a very sensitive respiratory system. They get respiratory infections and pneumonia very quickly. So you have to be very careful with cleaners, as cooking things in the kitchen, and any type of perfumes and candles. I haven't actually lit a candle since I've been owning rats, except for upstairs, so they can't smell it because they're very sensitive in that way. The squidgy, actually, my previous rat, he actually died from pneumonia. He had a collapsed lung that hit was so bad. Except he wasn't really showing horrible signs of it, but at the end stages there, yeah, he had a lot of respiratory problems. We got him from a pet shop that probably didn't take the best care of them when they were younger. But anyway, they have a horrible respiratory tract. So avoid anything glass or plastic, any kind of tankage like that. You probably don't want to do that. And don't buy them the balls, the huge balls that you see, like the hamsters that run around in, because that's not good either, because they pee in that and they'll walk in that, and just the odor will get into their nose and make them sick. So don't use the roll balls either. If you're gonna play with them on the carpet. Let them run around and be weird and karate kick their brother on the carpet, because that's safer than actually do that. Alright, so We already talked about the beddings. You want a low dust bedding, a non-toxic bedding. Low dust because of their respiratory. Unscented, so you don't want anything like pine or cedar because when they pee on it, it can make them sick. And you don't want anything sharp for like straw because they could get an eye poke. They poke their eye or get the bedding caught in their throat, so you don't want to do that. But the best material that we found so far is the fleece, but unfortunately it gets pretty smelly pretty quick. So probably by the third day you would want to switch it out, wash it, and then put it back in. Our cage cleaning process is basically twice a week with lots of spot cleaning in the middle. So on Wednesdays, I will come down and change all the fleeces, make sure all of the toys and everything are safe. And then on Saturday, we give the super cleaning. We hose it out with a power washer and wipe everything down with cleaner and make sure all of our beddings and things like that are washed and properly cared for so they don't have any smell. Yeah, they smell good. They smell really good with an unscented like fabric softener or whatever like that. It's pretty easy to take care of them. Yes, every week. You have no idea how much these rats poop. These rats and their poop, depending on what they eat, can be any consistency from hard little pellets to mushy mess. So these bars and everything have to be cleaned exceptionally well. Make sure that they're safe. Can they walk around in the house or roam around? Oh, they are only allowed to walk inside the pen because we have lots of grates on our floor here for the heating vents. And we also have 2 fireplaces that I do not trust at all. I know they're supposed to be capped off and closed in, but rats are notorious for finding their way into small cracks. So we only let them out in the pen that I talked about earlier. And we were just about to talk about free roaming. You can free roam your rats. Basically, you put them in the cage at night when you're asleep, and when you get up in the morning, you can let them roam around. You have ladders and stuff that goes directly into their cage, and make sure it's an open area. This is what I want in my own future house, is a room dedicated to them with cat tree furniture and everything like that, so they're not bored in these little cages, but have a cage for them so they feel safe for predators. So that's the ultimate goal. But if you're going to free roam them, be prepared that anything that's in their reach, they're going to grab and destroy. They like to make nests, even if they're... I just dropped batteries on the floor. Even if they're male rats, they're going to try nesting. So just be prepared that if you leave anything near their cage, let me show you an example. If you leave anything near their cage, this will happen. Everybody who watches my channel frequently understands and knows what this towel is. This is what happens. They will eat and try to pull in fabric, clothes, shoes, plastic, anything. So keep in mind, this will happen to your clothes if you leave it too close. They will do that. And they'll also tug on your clothes when they're playing. Like, it's common for Mr. Squeaks and Two Socks to actually grab the back of your shirt if they want you to play. They'll just tug on it, or they'll tug on the end of your sock, or whatever like that, just to get your attention. So keep in mind, if you're free roaming, to make sure you have everything that you want to keep safe up off of the floor. They will nibble everything. They're like toddlers. Yes, basically, Cupid. They want to taste it and figure out if they can eat it or play with it. So yeah, keep your things off the ground. Also, in the case of female rats, not so much, but male rats, they feel the need to mark everything. Okay, so don't be surprised if you have them out and you're sitting with them, you find a pee streak on your pants or on your hand or on your phone, because they're marking you as theirs. They do this to everything. They constantly have their pee on a drip so they can mark things as theirs. It is the most disgusting thing about rats, but you just eventually get used to it. Yes. It's chaotic, yes. So they will. I don't know how many times I have been marked by my rats. When we first got them, they would practically soak my husband. They would just pee, 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 pee all over his pants, and it's like, what the hell? They were. Now they don't do it so much anymore because they've been with us a while. But oh my god, they just pee everywhere. Just keep in mind that they will constantly pee on you. It's not because they don't like you. It's because they want to say, hey, you're my mom, or you're my playmate. We want to keep you. You're mine. So basically, keep that in mind as well. The peeing is very strange. Yes. But if you're gonna have them free roam as well, make sure you remove any electrical wires, toxic plants, plug holes, that kind of stuff, alright? And secure your rats away from other pets. You can see YouTube videos where there's cats playing with rats or dogs. Those probably of people having their animals grow up together, so don't think that if you just go out and get one from the store that they're automatically going to get along. Make sure that they have an introductory period to see how they're going to act before we're doing anything dangerous like that. Otherwise, just keep them away from other animals. And I also see a lot of people on the internet, especially on YouTube, taking their rats outside to play in the yard and explore and dig in the garden and things like that, which I think is pretty interesting and cool, but I would be afraid of them getting some kind of plant that would make them sick, or a bird would come and try to snatch them, because we have a lot of hawks around here. So yeah, that would, but I would look, I need to look more into that to see if that was a thing. But yeah, so that would be free roaming if you guys. So yeah, you guys have any questions about anything we talked about so far? Peeing, bedding, cages, chewing, anything like that? We touched a little bit on food, but like I said, you can have a lot of different types of... Do they like dogs? I don't personally have dogs, but I've seen them get along well with dogs. So I'm assuming they can if they grow up in the same environment with them. It's kind of like any animals that can be... That's like cats and dogs living together, and cats and birds living together. Can you neuter rats? Like you can, but I wouldn't recommend it, because only if it's medically necessary, because it's really hard on them to put them under. It's always a gamble, because there's always a chance that they're not going to wake up. Exactly, it's expensive as fuck. Yeah, to put them, to get, even sometimes you have to put them under to give them x-rays. And it's always a chance that they may not wake up. Like, older rats, you definitely want to be leery of putting them under, because they can get heart problems. Like, they can stop breathing, because like I said, they have the really weak respiratory systems. So it's always a gamble. But if you don't have to neuter them, then don't. Then don't do it. But some of them, actually, the aggressive ones, you can get neutered so they can behave themselves. But I personally would not put them under unless they absolutely had to, like if they had a tumor or whatever. But it's really stressful for them. So we were talking about the foods. There are grain-based, meat and soy-based, seeds, herbs, and whatchamacallit, pre-formed dried nuggets. That's what we use. That has the portions of main rat's diet. They also have rodent block. You'll see that in a lot, and for pet stores like Petco and PetSmart, they feed mice and rats rodent block, which is basically a smush mush into a pellet. Can they differentiate before your voice from hubbies and Sister Chen? Oh yes, oh yes. I think it's harder for them with Sister Chen, because me and Sister Chen sound almost alike, but they know our voices. They do know our voices. And when we call them, Most of the time they come out, but right now they're probably sleeping.
Little rat, what are you doing?
When I scream, "What are you doing?" most of the time their heads will pop out of the boxes to see what I got. Like if I have a snack, or if I just come home from work. When I didn't work, I spent more time with them. And then when I started to work, they started to look for me, so they got used to my routine. And they have accepted that I am not home most of the time now, so they do adapt to your routine, like cats and dogs. And rats are really smart. You can teach them tricks. And like I said, you can potty litter train them and things like that. Yeah, rats are really, really smart creatures. And the vet needs to be confident and willing to operate. Exactly. The vet will tell you up front that it's risky to put them under, and they will ask you if you want to go through with it. So it's up to you. You can teach them tricks, absolutely. I need to show you the tissue video, Lexi. There is a video with a girl who taught her rat to bring her tissues when she sneezes. So she would go, achoo! And the rat would run to the box, grab a tissue, hop it back to her, and give it to her. It was so cute. You can teach them. It's so cute. I'll have to find it. You can teach them to pooch so much. And I wish I could teach them not to poop so much. But these guys, they poop. They poop a lot. Not as much as birds, but they poop a lot. A lot. You can make your own homemade mix for rat foods. A lot of rat owners, when I started researching, I discovered that they are making their own rat mixes. You just need to have the right ratios, and you can create your own mixes. You need to have kidney-friendly diets and all that. If you're interested in that, I can give you the ratios. You have grains, commercial nuggets, semi-processed grains, ingredients to provide protein and healthy fats, and fruits and vegetables. But if you're interested in that, pretty cool, yes. Yes. Alright. I already told you about the litter training, your pet rats. Like I said, they're really clean, despite the fact that people think they're gross. They're insanely clean. If you have something on their hands that when you hold them and you touch their fur, they'll automatically clean themselves, and they generally keep their potty in one corner of the house. 2 corners if you have a big house like this. But they generally keep using the same spot, which smells really, really bad when you're trying to clean it. But yes. You gotta find a good place for the trays, always in a back corner, in a dark corner, because they like to poop in private. Listen, everybody. Like I said, you can have all kinds of choices for litter, but just make sure it's different than the bedding you're using for the bottom. So if you're using fleece, you can use any type of loose litter, like corncob litter, newspaper pellets, recycled paper shredding, things like that inside of there, just as long as it's a different texture. Or you can use glass beads, flat rocks. Like I said, they have this weird fascination with peeing on rats. Rats? Rocks, not rats. They'll pee on each other too. They really don't care. They will pee on each other, little brats. Yeah. Also, yeah, we talked about the pee. Boy, I just bounced all over the place with this. My notes are they're so scattered. What the heck? Peeing is a rare rat kink. Yeah, it is. Clean as cat, but trainable with tricks. Yes, very good. Yes, they are. You can train them with tricks and such. So, oh my god, my foot's asleep. Hang on a second, chat. My foot's asleep. Ouch! I just threw a bunch of paper on my floor. But I'm stuck. I'm stuck in my table. I'm stuck at my desk. Hang on, I gotta stand up. Hang on. Ow! See, this is the hazard of having in the dining. Get stuck. Oh my goodness. Alright.
Rattos, what are you doing?
You're supposed to be out here entertaining people, but you're sleeping! He's just staring at me right now. It's like, what are you talking about? Sorry about that. A bunch of paper. I'm throwing other things on the floor. Alright, what is that? Oh, that's the... But... I would also be asleep if I could. Yeah, they sleep generally a lot during the day. Yeah, a lot. A lot. But, when it turns to be about 3 o'clock, they know it's time for Daddy to come home, and that means more treats and playtime, which is important. Alright. Alright, so now here is a very important part of getting a rat. Yes, they really love their daddy. They love their daddy. They like to run on him. They like to tug on the back of his shirt. Yeah, they can sense it. They do. Also, my rats are not really afraid of loud noises. Imagine that. They're not really afraid of loud noises. They actually like the hand vac. I don't know why. The hand vacuum. So when I'm cleaning up their bedding, because they will kick it out of the cage because they're little bastards. So when I'm trying to vacuum it, they'll like hang on the side of the cage, and you can like, put the vacuum up next to the cage, and they'll sniff it and try to grab it with their paws. It's so weird. They have a weird fascination with the vacuum. But they're my pet, so it only makes sense that they're weird, right? So bonding with your ratto. When you first get your ratto, depending on where you get them, if you get them from a breeder, chances are they've already been handled and socialized, so you won't need to do as much work. But if you get them from a pet store, they're gonna take a little bit more work. They're gonna be shy because they were just thrown in a tank with other rats, and we had very little association with the associates there. So make sure when you first get them, the first day, make sure you put them in their cage. You don't even have to touch them and put them in their cage. You can put the box inside of the cage and let them get used to their environment. They're gonna smell on it, they're gonna pee in it, you're gonna chew on it, everything. They wanna make sure that it's theirs and let them get acclimated to their house for at least 2 days before you start handling them. And then when that 2-day marker hit, make sure it's a calm, soothing environment with lots of low tones, no loud noises, and you can open up the cage and you can start letting them hear your voice so they can associate that your voice is going to be one that they're going to be hearing, and also associated with good things like foods and pets and cuddles and play. This is important. And then after that stage, you still stick your hand in there, maybe with some food or some treats, so they can associate that your hand is also a good thing, so they can go and check that out. And eventually you can start handling them slowly in the process, and they'll become your best friends through that. You will get the odd rat that each rat's personality is different. You'll get the lazy guy who just doesn't want to come out of the cage, who'll just glare at you, will come out for treats but won't come out for cuddles. You'll get one that wants to cuddle in your hoodie. You'll get one that's like these weirdos that they like to be held only when it's their idea. But that's basically, you have to make sure that it's a slow process and they get used to you. They have to approach you. That's how we found these two. When we were at the store, we stuck our hand in the rat enclosure, and these two plus their sister came out. The first ones that came out, we started talking to them, and they were like, yo, this person's cool. In front of the vacuum? Yeah. She likes the vacuum, or she likes... Cats are usually... don't really give a shit about anything. It's that they do things on their own time and their own speed. But yeah. But when we were at the store, yeah, the Squidgy... Oh, not Squidgy, sorry. I'm talking about Squidgy, it makes me sad. Mr. Squeaks and Two Socks were the first two out of their hut, and followed by their sister. Unfortunately, we couldn't buy the sister because 2 males and a female in a cage together would make babies. So we couldn't take the sister. We probably should have just separated the cage and kept the sister, and and then had boys to talk. But they came out, so we took them, and immediately when they put them in the box, they were starting to eat the box. So we had to stick them in the carrier, and we took them home, and they were all snuggled up in the blanket, and we brought them home, and they're my babies. But yeah, make sure the rat basically picks you. You don't force yourself on a rat, let them pick you. That's the way. That's the way I've always picked my rats. It's like, they may be the cutest one in there in the bunch, but if it's between a scared fancy rat who doesn't want anything to do with you and a buggy-eyed feeder rat who comes running over and starts licking your hand, I take the buggy-eyed feeder rat, because they my babies. My babies back there, yeah, they definitely pick you. And yeah, rats don't seem to care about like relationships. Yeah, they don't care. They like the incest babies. Yeah, they don't care. They really don't care. Like I said at the beginning, they got that imprinted in their brain that they need to make more babies because their lifespans are so small. But yeah, pretty cool, yeah. Weird rat behavior. Ah, sweet home Alabama. Yes. So right now we're going to talk about some weird rat behaviors. Weird rat behaviors. Like I was talking about earlier with their play, they like to karate chop each other. They'll box, they'll kick. They like to, sometimes they will get sexually aggressive and hump each other, which is weird, but absolutely normal. Again, with the urge to procreate. They push each other, they pin each other to the floor, obsessive grooming. Two Socks will violently groom Mr. Squeak so much that Mr. Squeak squeaks loudly, and he hates it. He's like, please stop it, Mom, stop him. So he's like squeaking in the background, but yes, they will groom each other. And they chase and run and grab each other and throw things, but yeah, they can be pretty crazy. Also, other things that they do behaviorally, especially when a rat gets contented or happy. Like I've talked about it before, that their tips of their ears will blush pink. It's an obvious change too. It's like a person blushing. But their tips of their ears will turn pink. Sometimes they'll get the hiccups. A rat with the hiccups is very strange. It looks like they're having a seizure. Yeah, yes, their eyes popping, which is called boggling. My boys right now aren't very big bogglers. Two Socks boggles more than Mr. Squeaks. Mr. Squeaks does the hiccups. He gets hiccups, he gets pink ears, and occasionally you'll get bruxing. Bruxing is where the rats will grind their teeth together. That means they're extremely contented and happy. It sounds really nasty, like they're mean and gonna bite you, but it's not. They're just really, really happy. So if they're bruxing and boggling at the same time, you think your rat is possessed and needs an exorcism. But it's actually meaning they're extremely happy and contented, which is really funny, because it looks like that they do need an exorcism. Another thing. Yes. I have a couple of videos of their boggling. Some just a baby boggle, you'll get their eyes just shaking a little bit. But some of them, their eyes just go whoa out of their head, and it's like, oh my god, what is that? Yeah, and the peeing is another thing, and they have to mark everything. Sometimes you'll get tail wags, where they'll actually wag their tail back and forth. There's some debate in the rat world whether it's aggressive or contentedness, because Squidgy used to do it before his tail got chopped in half, but he used to do it when Rascal would irritate him. So he would take his tail and just go back and forth with it. It's really weird when you see it, but that's another behavior I haven't completely figured out whether it's aggressive or not. So that's I don't know if hubby ever found anything tail wagging, but Mr. Squeaks did it a little bit, but I've never seen Two Socks do the tail. Other rat things, health-wise, you will see in a rat, you will see the porphin, which is actually red staining around their eyes and nose. First time I saw it that my rat's eye was bleeding because that's how the color of the actual staining. So that isn't really necessarily a bad thing because sometimes it's like an eye booger for us, except them it's red, and they'll get it around their nose or their eyes when they just wake up. It's just them being lazy and not cleaning it off. But if there's too much there, like if you see a lot of it around their eyes and nose, take them to the vet. They might have a respiratory issue going on. Others also, sometimes you will get a weird yellow coating on their fur or on the. No, it's not blood. It's just something they secrete, kind of like us when we get our eye boogers in the morning or the eye crusties. The same thing. It's just them not cleaning their face off and they're being lazy, which can happen when they get older. They just really don't care. They'll just lay in their bed and try to eat their food from there. That's how lazy they get. But I was saying about the male rats can get a yellow cast to their fur or like a yellow kind of ish tint to their skin. That's a musk of the male. It happens sometimes. All you gotta do is, give them a good scrub. I haven't seen it on these two because I have two together, but if you have one separate, sometimes you'll see that. Rats also, in their older years, like I said, can get respiratory issues. They can have, sadly, they can get lots and lots. Yeah, hey Ro, how are ya? How you doing? How's you doing today? Welcome on in. They also, unfortunately, can get loss of massive tumors and abscesses under their skin. So after a certain age, probably about a year, I would definitely check them constantly to make sure. Females are more prone to getting tumors than male, which is why I've kept males longer, because not only is their life short, they can get illnesses or tumors and things to make their life even shorter. So always make sure that they don't have any tumors on their body. They are very, very susceptible to viruses and allergens in the air. And neurological issues. The one rat I had named Noodle, he had a neurological issue where he ate off all his toenails. Kind of leaned his head to the side. He didn't live very long, poor guy. But yeah, we had to actually put a ratty cone around his head to keep him from chewing. Imagine staying up late at night to try to keep your rat from chewing his feet. But so in my experience with that, my very first rat probably lived the longest. His name was Nicodemus. He was a pet store rat. I think I got him at a local pet shop. He was just a regular brown and white rat. He sustained very well on regular generic food, which probably wasn't good for him. And lots of KFC biscuits. He loved KFC. Rat-sized cones? Oh yeah, they do. They do. It was a ridiculously small thing that we had to wrap around his head, but he got it off in like a few hours. Kind of like Squidgy when he had his tail amputated to a certain point. They gave him a bandage around his tail, and he was pissed off until he got that bandage off. Once he got the bandage off, he was absolutely fine. He didn't touch his stitches, but he hated the bandage being on his butt. Hey Cosmo, welcome on in. Thank you for coming to visit me. I appreciate you. Hey Ro, didn't you say your birthday was today? Is today your birthday? The tweets are never in order, so I never know if it's your birthday or not. If it is, I'm gonna sing you happy birthday. But I am well. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday, Ro! Everybody take a moment. Everybody take a moment to throw some happy birthdays at Ro, because he is an amazing human being. Please also go check out his channel if you click at the link up above. He's very sweet, very smooth talking, plays GTFO a lot with Wild Tabby. One of my favorite people, and I love him. He's always a good time. But yeah, wish him a happy birthday. I wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sweet wool. Happy birthday to you. You didn't want to miss my Rattos stream? Aw, I think it was a train wreck. My Rattos stream was all over the place. I need a better form for my talks. You know what I mean? But I appreciate you guys all coming to visit me and learning about Rattos because, like I said, they're sorely underrated. But, yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I was talking about my first rat, Nicodemus. He sustained very well off of regular Ratto mix and KFC biscuits. He lived a max of 5 years, but in that 5 years, somewhere on year 4, he has paralyzed from the waist down, and I had to constantly clean him from the waist down, but that didn't stop him from going after biscuits. I miss that little bastard. And in between, I've had all sorts of varieties of rats. I've had a Rex rat. I've had Dumbo rats. Dumbo rats are like normal fancy rats, but their ears are gigantic. I love it. Pocket puppies. Yeah. Is the female the best to get? Actually, they both smell equally. I don't know who says that one smells more than the other, but they both smell equally. But the females do not mark as much as the males do. And we were talking about marking earlier, Cosmo. Male rats will constantly mark anything that they deem that they want to keep as theirs, including you. So be prepared. So if you get a male pair of rats, they're going to pee on you. Not massive amount of pee, but enough that you will notice. They'll pee on your hand, they'll pee on your back, they'll pee on your head, they'll pee on your phone, they'll pee on whatever they think that they want to claim as theirs. So yeah. They can get pretty stinky. Both sets can get pretty stinky. But just make sure you keep up on top of them with just... Ricardo, thank you! 100 twerking biddies, I love it! Leon twerking biddies too, thank you so much, Ricardo. I appreciate that. But yeah, so just if you keep on top of it, keep their cage clean, keep their fleeces clean, then you shouldn't have too much trouble. But trust me, 3 days this cage is gonna smell because of the poo in the corner. We can scoop it out and they will still continue to poop in it. Rat bath. Well, I try not to bathe rats if you unless you absolutely have to. They're natural oils. You protect their skin and everything, and it keeps their coat shiny. And unless they're laying in poo or they're covered in blood, don't bathe them. They generally keep each other clean. My 2 boys are usually pretty well groomed. Aren't you guys? Hello? Hey! 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 Oh my god. Oh my god, he's so bad. You guys know 2 socks, right? You guys know 2 socks? This is my 2 socks. This is generally my shy boy. He's the boggler though. He's also the player, so if you like rough up his fur the opposite direction, he'll run around and popcorn. Popcorn is when rats jump straight up in the air. It's really weird. It's really weird. But it's cute. Dagoos, yes, Dagoos are really cute. But they're big chewers though. They will eat the side of your house. We had, when I worked in the pet store, we had a set of Dagoos. We called one Charlie and the other one Dingus. But they chewed so many toys. We had trouble keeping up with them. We had to actually take merchandise off of the shelf to feed to them because they would chew right through it. But most rodents do a fair amount of chewing. Rats, hamsters, gerbils, Dagoos, chinchillas, Anything like that. Only ones that don't have are not big chewers is ferrets. I don't know enough about ferrets to talk about them, but I see he peed on my he peed on my blanket. You little shit. Yep. This is my child. He's like, Mom, how dare you fucking pee on your blanket? Yep, that's my kid. That's my kid for you. Live peeing. Yes, he doesn't care. He really doesn't care. He's like, Mom, this is what you get for taking me out of the goddamn house. But does anybody have any questions? That's all of my info dump for today. I'm sorry that I thought the Rattos would be out so you guys could see them. But no. They literally do not want to come out. They literally just want to hang out.
Squeakies! Mr. Squeak Squonks! Hi, Squeak Squonks! Mr. Squeaks! There you are.
What? Yeah, he really doesn't want to come out there.
Here. Come here. Come here. Ow! I got you. Ah.
At least I got one. There's Mr. Squeaks. What's the life expectancy of a Ratto? Probably about 2 years average. Like I said, they can live longer, depending on their environment. What? What do you want? What? What do you want? What? What? Don't eat my headphones. How rude! Wait, that's 2 socks. That ain't Mr. Squeaks. What the heck? Sorry, 2 socks. He's like, Mom, what the hell? Sorry about my bun being in the way. Holy shit. Alright. Alright. But rats generally can live up to 2 years. Average with the tumor is 2.5 years, exactly. 2.5 years. Depending on whether if they live a healthy life, if they have health problems, if they get tumors, and such. Yeah, they have relatively short lives, and when they... Who is that?
Is that Squeakies? Mr. Squeak Squonks!
Look, Mr. Squeak Squonks has come to see us.
Hi, Mr. Squeak Squonks. Want a treat?
Oh, you can get one. But yeah, we also feed them a lot of these. You guys have seen them on stream 100 times. We feed them baby puffs, cereal puffs. They also have baby cereal cookies that you can feed them, which is also good. Anything with low in sugar and don't have any strange things. 7 or 8. More 4 or 5 or 6. You're thinking about a guinea pig or a dago. They generally live longer. But rats, like I said, they have a tiny lifespan, which is unfair because we... Look at him. Look at him. Auntie Lexi, look at he wants more treats. He wants more treats.
He's like, I want more treats. No more. No more, you little brat. No more.
Look at him. He just wants treats, but yeah. So, any more questions about Ratto care? He's a good boy. I love these two. And it's so sad that their lifespan is so short because they get bonded into your heart. And then when they die, oh my god. I remember when Squidgy passed away at the vet's office, and he did it during stream, and I just couldn't talk anymore. I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't. I just broke down for like 4 days. Process of breeding rats. What's the best cause? Breeding rats. You want to breed rats, huh? I'm not very familiar with breeding rats, but that's information I'd have to look up on the internet. We used to breed hamsters at the pet store. We had a hamster called Big Daddy. He was a big, white, puffy... I mean, he was huge. But we would mate him with generally good-tempered females because he was so good-tempered. Oh my god. He got into another fight with another hamster and it bit him in the butt. Literally bit him in his teeny tiny little tail. And when we had to take him out of his tank to put ointment on his butt, we literally had to put ointment on his butt. He would stick his butt up in the air so you could put the ointment on his butt. He was so chill. I loved that hamster. And when he was getting close to his end of life stage, he was in his elder status and he could no longer breathe. Healthy for him. I asked the manager if I could take him home. So Mr. Big Daddy lived the remainder of his life at my house, eating snacks, living in his little puffy house. He was happy. He lived a good long life. What about rat cage sizes? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. It's best to have a cage bigger than a guinea pig cage for medium to adult rats. For smaller rats, you want to get something, at first, you want to get something with closer bar spacing so they can't get out. Because if rats can stick their head through it, they're going to get out. Or break their neck. Either way. Got paid for it, so are you a professional body ointment provider? I don't know about that. But he had a boo-boo on his butt, and I wanted to make sure it got better. That was the whole thing. But the cage I have Cosmo behind me, this is a ferret chinchilla cage. It's 2 floors. You can't see the bottom half, but it's as wide as the top half. Make sure the bar spacing is generally a good length. When they were babies, we wanted to that the base spacing was small enough, wide enough for us to stick toys through, but not wide enough for them to get that. Which was a good. Husband is very, very happy he found this. Yeah, that's the cage. We're eventually gonna have to downsize the cage because the ramps and everything are gonna be hard on their feet when they're older. They are hitting the two year mark, so we're gonna have to maybe make the ramps and the ledges lower, so everything is down on one floor, but still give them exercise time. What about rats and cats in the same house? Yes, you can have rats and cats in the same house. A lot of people do. I would recommend that them separate because naturally cats are going to be fascinated by rodents. In nature, they chase them. So you will have your occasional lazy cat that doesn't want anything to do with them, but it's always best to keep them in the play area or in an area that is away from other animals that can harm. Because like I said, vet bills are insanely expensive. So you don't want to get entangled in that mess. Trust me. Well, I expected this talk to be a little bit longer, but I kind of read through my notes really, really fast because I have to admit I was nervous because I'm by myself, and usually with my podcast I have somebody here with me to help clean the empty space. Okay, so so that's all of the notes I have for right now. So if you guys don't have any questions. You love this one? You did? Well, anything about your nephews, you definitely love Miss Lexi Lou. And I'm trying to think of questions. It's okay. Should have written them down. It's all right. I should have written more things down, but I didn't. I had like 12 pages of notes, but I ran through them so fast because I was nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous. I generally been streaming for 2 years, so duh. How do you know the sex of a rat? It's very obvious. Seriously. If you look at the back of a rat, you can see he's got luggage. Even when they're babies, you can pretty much tell. Females don't have luggage. Males definitely have luggage. Most rodents, it's very easy to tell what they are. Is it like a cat? Can you... Yes. It's like a cat, yeah. Birds are very difficult to sex. So you have to do a blood test to find out the sex of a bird. because I used to hand feed baby birds at the pet store, all kinds of birds. But to find out the sex of the bird, we'd have to send out a blood test, and they would send it back. So it's a bit more difficult. Then reptiles are really hard to sex as well. But rats, rats got big balls. Let me just tell you, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. They got enormous balls, especially the hairless ones. You can see them from a mile away, and they like to press them up against the side of the cage so they can see them all in the fabulous glory. It's like, yo, can you put that away? I got company. It's not great. Imagine having to pay for a blood test to find out. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. Usually you can tell in some birds whether they talk or not, whether they're female or male. Females generally are more quiet and aren't not as vocal as males. Males will try to talk to actually form words. That's how we do that. And some actually have very distinguished markings, like the eclectus. Eclectus are beautiful birds. The males are all like this emerald green color, and they have a candy corn colored like beak. And the females are a bright, beautiful red. So you can definitely tell which is which if you're having eclectus. But some birds, like African grays, you can't tell because they're all the same. They're all the same. Yeah, look at my balls, Mom! Oh yeah. Like when you have hamsters and have them in a plastic aquarium, they like to stick their junk right up against that glass. Like, hey, Mom, look what I got! Yeah. That's good. It's great. But yeah. So this was my first attempt at a real talk, like, educational kind of stream. I don't know how you guys liked it. If you have any comments or suggestions and you're in the Discord, please drop them in there. If you'd like to see more of these, I'd be happy to do more. I just don't know what the topic is. We have some really interesting podcasts coming up for the new year. Plus the season 3 of the favorite streamer series that'll be coming to an end. We're only doing three seasons, so I love you too, Ro. Thank you so much. Yep. So we're having the end of season 2 coming up, and then season 3. I'm filling up the schedule. It won't be as many as season 2 because season 3, like I said, we're trying to do other things in between the season, the streamers, the favorite streamers, like the History is Weird podcast, but I'm gonna be doing occasionally, maybe having Lexi Lou as my guest star. We'll be going over like weird historical facts, like we're gonna do some Greek mythology weirdness and things like that. If you guys are interested in that, we're gonna have some friends favorites podcast about a friend's favorite thing. So the friend, whoever I choose to be on the podcast, can go and gush about their favorite thing, and I ask them questions about their favorite thing, and they can just go all hag and nutty, because people expressing their love for a passion is most important. You should listen to that no matter what, because they're opening up, telling you about the things they love. It's most things to listen to. So we'll have that and a bunch of other things. Hiya, it's a me, history nerd. It's alright. It's good. History is fun. It also has a lot of weird shit to it. So it could be very fun. But I hope to be for that. So that's our Real Talk Rattos stream for today. I hope you all enjoy it and learned a little bit about the Rattos. If you're interested in getting a Ratto and have any more questions, feel free to ask me any questions on Discord or message me on Twitter. I'd be more happy to answer them. But for now, I'm going to end stream there. When's my next? Maybe Saturday. We might be doing a gem painting on Saturday. And Sunday, I have no idea what I'll be doing on Saturday or Sunday. Games with hubby and whatever happen to be playing that day. So we'll be doing that. And then next week we have a podcast on the 13th with It's a Banana Pancake, and oh my god, that's coming. Oh, that's not next week. It is next week. Oh, I don't even know what day it is. Today's the 2nd? 2nd. Okay. So actually it's the week after that will be It's a Banana Pancake, and then Peralt on the 16th. 13th and the 16th of the podcast. And the only thing different, oh shit. On the week of Thanksgiving, I won't be doing a stream on the 23rd because I work. Because we will be having Thursday and Friday off for the holiday, so I will be working on the 23rd. But we will be having a stream on Black Friday. We will be playing the Division because we always play it traditionally. Anyway, I Twitter. Yes, I do have a Twitter. Hard to say whether ancient history is 17. Oh yeah, I saw ancient history is messed up, man. They do a whole bunch of weird shit. But anyway, let's see if we can find somebody to raid. Do we have people to raid? Everybody is playing the village. Big surprise there. I was hoping I'd be going to someone who wasn't playing the village, but let's see. Who do you guys want to go? Do you want to go? Oh, look who's streaming! Alice! Let's go visit Wonderland Alice. Wonderland Alice is one of my favorite peeps. Fun, amazing. I need to get that out of my way so I can do the thing. Wait, whoa, what are you doing? Stop it. Uh-oh. Stop it. Stop it. Sorry, my chat just went haywire. Alice. She's also playing the village, and she also got a creepy ass mask on, so we have to go visit her. Like I said, guys, I love you. Thank you for coming to join me today. I was super duper nervous, and if you have any feedback for me, please do so in the Discord. I will see you guys on Saturday, perhaps for some diamond sticking. You guys have a good day, okay? Love you.